straight games, at least 30 in 3 straight games. Stu mentioned it, Paul George coming off of a rest day. He's going to fire it up, the long 3, rebound, Dwight not there. Serge has got it away from him.
Make sure that TNT didn't turn the corner, and that frees up AD.
I mentioned the Clippers gave up 123 and then 124 in their last game. Morris, nothing but net. Lakers have won 3 out of 4. Cross court, that's a good look by LeBron. Finding Davis. Remember a couple of games ago, he did have multiple threes. Westbrook in attack mode. Good dish off for Davis. He can't finish. Russ was there. He couldn't put it home. Only KD has had more or a higher percentage of a team's points than Paul George. That's how much that he has the handle. In fact, as you said, everything goes through him. 8.5 to play in the first quarter. THT launches.
And Zoo bid on the play and gave him his favorite shot.
He was a plus 27 the other night, and I think that basically told the story. That's how good he was. Stolen away again. Lee trying to get to LeBron. What a tap by Dwight! Oh, I think you use that term exactly. 6 straight 20-point games. At least 9 field goals made in 5 of the last 6. But the Clippers come out of the timeout and knock it down with Mr. October. Averaging below 14 a contest.
Lakers find themselves already down by 5 as Paul George makes it 7.
Yeah, this is a team, the Clippers. 7-0 Clippers run. George going into a dance around LeBron. It's going to be a team rebound. It goes out of bounds. And LeBron's going to get it back from AD. Front court, James lob. Davis couldn't control. That was going to be a spectacular one had it connected. Free throws, Paul George. But he's 0 for 6 from 3 over his last 2. That's going to change quickly in their last game. Paul George again goes into a nice little dribbling exhibition. Puts AD on his wallet and scores. Fewest road games in the entire league by a pretty wide margin this early, too. They've only played 6 away from home. This counts as a roadie. Derek Lewis in his 18th year. Kevin Cutler, 12th year. Justin Van Dyne, 8th year in the NBA. PG-13 leads turnovers, about 4.5 a game for Paul George. Clippers tied for 7th. A game and a half separates 7 teams in the Western Conference. So you'll see teams shuffling all over the place here in the next month or so. THT tries to dribble in there. They keep him out on the perimeter. Horton Tucker back. Austin Reeves for 3. On the season, they're 12th in the league in 3-point percentage, just under 35%. This guy can shoot and score from anywhere. Kennard with 4 to shoot. He was drifting, he missed it, and the Lakers can take the lead right here with Ellington. Instead, it's Paul George weak side.
Zoo tried to overpower LeBron and lost the ball.
Lob for Reeves. Reeves is not your Dr. Duncanstein under there.
Yeah, Billy, so Frank Vogel gave some clarification after practice yesterday about his center rotation. He said that trying to play both DJ and Dwight in really short minutes, he just didn't feel like either one was able to get into a rhythm. That he just wants to use one center in terms of the traditional center, and then we'll see more of LeBron and at times, of course, AD at that spot. So just expect Dwight for now, and then we'll see how that evolves as the season goes on.
Paul George, tough assignment for THT. Let's see if he's up for it. Morris, open 3, down it goes. Last year, 2nd in the league. Zubac is in very deep, turns, get that out of here, said Dwight.
They would go on to win that game and get up to a pretty good start a year ago. George at the free throw line knocks it down. The Clippers here in the second quarter have taken 13 total shots.
Been outscored the Lakers 26-18 right now in the second. There's your first miss of the night. Last 4 games, 10 out of 17 from downtown. Made a start the other night. Paul George reverse layup. Didn't go down. Rebound Lakers. Teams change ends. Clippers have control of the basketball to start the 3rd quarter. Paul George on its way. Dips in, comes out. Rebound to LeBron James. But it stays out of the hoop. Paul George.
How smooth he is.
Yeah, from 17 feet, it's good.
He is so smooth.
from beyond the arc. Look out, here comes LeBron. Got a hand on it. George then quickly, somebody's got to be open, and it's Morris. He wasn't going to miss 2 in a row. Wide open from that spot. They played 10 out of 11 on the road and 17 of 22. That's when we'll find out what they're all about. Morris goes to the other side and hits a 3. Right now the Lakers out shooting the Clippers. 43.5 to 40.5. Paul George rising 5. Paul George, go-to guy. Spin on Reeves, impossible to stop. Paul George. Man, 4 years at Florida State, the former Seminole. Paul George, he's in very deep. Reverse layup is good for Paul George. In point differential, it has not been the start that they expected, wanted, all of the above. Paul George, where they battle underneath. Bledsoe backing up. Now for Paul George, where just turns on Malik Monk. Of course, he's got that great length, 6'8".
With a 10-point lead.
They're right. They're going up steadily. Lakers are a plus 14 in the paint.
Look how open shots they're
Wide
giving
open.
up.
Wide open Paul George. Rebound Anthony Davis. Rebound Kennard. Quickly Bledsoe. He's charging to the rim. Here he goes. Very similar to THD. That's what THD would have done to him. They'll give it right back to Paul George. That's probably a smart move. Rolling is Ibaka. He fumbled it. Taken by the Lakers and Horton Tucker. Here comes Russ. Davis back to Russ. Russ turning. Russ lob. AD foul. Free throw time. This can tie the game for the 4th time. He just can't make 2 in a row. Rodgers' defense. Jackson 3. Jackson 3. You want to keep momentum from going over to their bench. George one way, then the other. Tough shot. Hits the heel. Taken by LeBron. It's about a season high for the Clippers. They're trying to stop a 3-game losing streak.
Nice pass.
And Kennard is wide open.
Very nice pass by Paul George.
Just bounced it right to Luke Kennard, who turned and was open. And a rebound goes to Marcus Morris. So the Lakers down 4. They couldn't get the lead. Paul George, couple of big steps, knocked down. Here come the Lakers. Last time the Lakers beat the Clippers, it was in the bubble. George, that's a loose ball. Lakers take it.
Of Paul George.
Lakers have come down or battled back from double digits for
Wide
half
open.
of their wins. Kennard! They do it again to the Lakers.